What happens when a lie unravels faster than a spool of thread? In the bustling heart of Little Hanoi, where the hum of sewing machines filled the air, Ho Ang Nguyen strutted into Min's embroidery emporium with a swagger that screamed trouble. She wasn't just a customer, she was a storm in human form, demanding a rush order for a wedding AO dye, claiming she was a master seamstress who could fix anything if Min's team couldn't keep up. Her eyes glinted with impatience as she waved a sketch of an intricate lotus pattern, insisting it be done in 3 days for her VIP client. Min, a soft-spoken artisan with decades of experience, hesitated. 3 days for such detailed work was unheard of, but Hoa's sharp tongue and promises of a big tip pushed him to agree. Little did he know, Hoa's boasts were as hollow as a broken needle. Hoa's story began to fray almost immediately. She hovered in the shop daily, barking orders and criticizing Min's team. "You call that stitching? My grandmother could do better blindfolded," she snapped, ignoring the meticulous care the embroiderers poured into each petal. Min's lead seamstress, Lynn, a young woman with a quiet strength, noticed Hoa's sketches were oddly amateurish for a supposed expert. When Lynn politely asked for clarification on a stitch pattern, Hoa bristled, claiming it was proprietary knowledge. The shop's atmosphere grew tense, with workers exchanging wary glances. Min, ever the peacemaker, urged patience, but Hoa's demands escalated. She insisted on using rare silk threads from Min's private stock, claiming her client deserved only the best. By day 2, she was rearranging tools and demonstrating techniques, leaving chaos in her wake: spilled threads, misplaced needles, and smudge patterns. The truth began to unravel when a surprise visitor walked through the door. Mrs. Tran, a renowned local designer and Min's longtime friend. She'd heard about the rush order and came to offer her expertise. When Mrs. Tran examined Hoa's sketch, her brow furrowed. "This isn't a professional's work," she whispered to Min. "It's a copy of a pattern I designed last year, but with errors." Min's heart sank. He confronted Hoa, asking for proof of her credentials. Hoa scoffed, doubling down. "I've worked with designers across Hanoi. You're just jealous of my talent." But Mrs. Tran wasn't convinced. She pulled up her original design on her phone, showing the shop the blatant plagiarism. Hoa's face flushed, but she deflected, accusing Min of sabotaging her order to steal her client. The confrontation exploded the next morning, just as the AO dye was nearing completion. Hoa stormed into the shop, furious that the embroidery wasn't done yet. "You're all incompetent," she screamed, snatching the half-finished dress from Lynn's hands. In a fit of rage, she tore at the delicate silk, ripping apart hours of intricate lotus patterns. Needles clattered to the floor as she flung tools aside, shouting, "I'll finish it myself." Customers gasped, and Min's team froze in horror. Lynn, usually reserved, stepped forward, her voice steady but fierce. "You're no seamstress. Hoa, you're a fraud, and you're destroying our work." Hoa laughed bitterly, but her hands trembled as she clutched the ruined fabric. Min, his patience finally broken, demanded she leave. But Hoa wasn't done. She hurled insults, vowing to ruin Min's reputation online and sue for emotional distress. The twist came when a timid voice spoke up from the back of the shop. It was Bao, a shy apprentice who rarely spoke. He'd been quietly observing Hoa's chaos and had done some digging. "I check her social media," Bao said, holding up his phone. "She's been posting about learning embroidery for weeks, not mastering it. And her VIP client, it's her cousin, who didn't even order this dress." The room fell silent. Hoa's bravado crumbled as all eyes turned to her. Min, holding the torn AO dye, shook his head. "You lied to rush this order, and now you've ruined it. You'll pay for the damage." Hoa cornered, stammered excuses, but the evidence was undeniable. Mrs. Tran stepped in, offering to help Min repair the dress for free, but only if Hoa admitted her deceit. Hoa's downfall was as swift as it was humiliating. Faced with the threat of a repair bill and a potential lawsuit for defamation, she broke. "Fine, I'm not a seamstress," she admitted, tears streaming down her face. I just wanted to impress my cousin and make some quick money. The confession hung heavy in the air. Min's team, though shaken, rallied to salvage the dress. Lynn led the effort, her steady hands reworking the torn lotus patterns with precision. Hoa, meanwhile, was banned from the shop and slapped with a $500 bill for the damaged materials and lost labor. She tried to argue, but Mrs. Tran's influence in the community meant Hoa's reputation was already unraveling. Word spread fast. By evening, posts on local forums exposed her lies, with customers vowing never to trust her again. As the sun set over Little Hanoi, Min's shop hummed with a renewed sense of purpose. The AO dye was completed, more beautiful than ever, thanks to Lynn's skill and Mrs. Tran's guidance. Min hung the dress in the window, a symbol of resilience. He turned to his team, his voice soft but firm. We don't just stitch fabric, we stitch trust. The shop's reputation soared, with new customers flocking in, inspired by the story of how honesty triumphed over deceit. Hoa, meanwhile, faded into obscurity, her lies a cautionary tale whispered in the markets. What do you think? Can a single lie unravel everything? Or is redemption possible even for someone like Hoa? Share your thoughts on where the line between ambition and dishonesty lies.